Just gonna wait for the notification to come out because sometimes it takes a little bit of time. There we go. Okay. So, we are live. I think we're public. But I usually don't start it till some people get in here because I don't want to be talking to myself, you know what I mean? So we'll wait a little bit. Sometimes the notifications take some time to come in. That's the worst. Actually, there's been times where I upload a video, no notification at all. They just don't come through. And it sucks because I think notifications are one of the main things of getting people to watch your video is the notification. Well, that and the suggested videos thing, I don't know if I should zoom the camera in anymore. I got no idea. Let me know if I'm talking loud enough or if it's not loud enough. Definitely let me know. How's everyone doing? Just saw Nope today. I might see it in theaters. I don't know yet. Either that, if I don't see it in theaters, I'll probably watch it on the channel because I've already done the other two Jordan Peele movies, so I mean, it would just make sense to do the third. Well, I actually haven't uploaded Us yet. I just watched it like 3 days ago. So that will be up on the channel within the next 2 weeks, I guess. But the full uncut's already on Patreon, so. Will you please put the rules of attraction on the poll? I'll tell you this. I'll add it to my watch list. And what is it called? The rules of attraction? I'll add it to my watch list, and eventually it'll end up on polls eventually. But like, I can't promise that it will be right away. And the only reason I say that is because you can't have unlimited movies on a poll, I can put unlimited movies on my watch list, sure, but I can't do that for the Patreon polls, or definitely not the YouTube polls, because there's a limited amount that you can do. On Patreon, I believe it's like 30 to 40 per poll, and obviously I'm not going to do a million polls, so if I'm only going to put 30 or 40 polls per decade, because I do a poll for each of the decades, well, I do 70s/80s, then 90s, then 2000s and 2010s, then I do, 2010/2020s. That to me is the best way to do it. I've just felt I've had the most success doing it that way. It makes the most sense, so that is just how I'm going to stick to it. And I'm only going to put the movies on the lists that I feel like are popular enough to the point where people are going to care about them. But then again, there's always going to be some movies that show up on those polls that I don't think are that popular, but I'm still going to put there. And then I'm still going to put them there anyways, just in case some of you guys might want to see me watch it, and I want to see people, be able to vote. So that's kind of the whole point of it. What's up, Jason Carr? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing good as well. John Wick is going to be epic. I'm going to see it in theaters when it comes out. Oh, definitely me too, yeah. Comes out in March, I believe. Have yet to watch Get Out or Us. Hoping to see Nope sometime this week. Yeah, I enjoyed both of them. I think I liked Us a little bit more, though. You'll see my reaction. You'll see my thoughts on it, but I really didn't have any significant issues with it. There was a couple minor things, but it was nothing like major, You should react to Exists. Underrated Bigfoot movie. I don't think I've ever seen a Bigfoot movie. I mean, I could add it to my watch list, but new promises. Thoughts on Daredevil Born Again? Okay, actually, good question, because I do have thoughts on that. It's not really a question. You're kind of just... Oh, I guess it is a question. Well, the question would be, what are your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again? Then that would be a question. But my thoughts are pretty simple. Obviously, I haven't finished Daredevil yet. I'm only on Season 2, Episode 5. And my thoughts on this reboot is that it better retain the same tone and level of maturity as the original series. That's the only, hope I have for it. Obviously, I want it to be well written and interesting and, engaging and everything. I want all that to be good as well. But, I just ultimately want it to be tonally the same as the original. That means no goofy-ass slapstick comedy that the MCU loves to do. None of that. You cannot do that in that Daredevil show. You can have comedy there. Comedy's fine. Foggy's hilarious. He says funny shit all the time. That's fine. That's completely warranted. But if I see Daredevil making funny quips, that just doesn't fit his character in that original series. I don't want them to do that in this reboot. And in terms of maturity, in terms of the gore and the stuff that happens, that needs to stay the same as well. So they have to make it TVMA. You can't do no TV-14 shit for Daredevil because that's just not totally consistent with the original series, and I want it to stay totally consistent with that original series. I'm a little worried that they're not going to do that, and they're going to nerf it a little bit. They're going to make it toned down, but we'll hope for the best. I'm glad they're doing 18 episodes. I don't know if that's just the first season or if it's a whole series. I have no idea how it's going to work, but I'm glad it's at least longer than the 6-episode shit they've usually been doing for these series, because I feel like Daredevil kind of warrants more episodes, you know? So we'll see. Hello from South Africa. How you doing? Ride Along is a good watch too. I think is that on my watch list? If it's not, I should definitely add it because I do know of that movie. I haven't seen it, but I know I've heard of it. What are you most excited for and least excited for from the stuff revealed at San Diego Comic-Con Marvel? Okay, good question. I'm gonna pull up a list of everything right now because I need to remember exactly what was shown. So I'm gonna pull up this. Okay. So from what was shown, I think the thing I'm most excited for Marvel that was revealed at revealed in terms of like was shown and hasn't come out yet. You know what I mean? Not trailers, but just was announced and hasn't come out yet. It could have already been announced, or it could just have been announced yesterday. I'll talk about what I'm most excited for and least excited for. So most, I think, honestly, no shit, Avengers, those films are probably going to be the most exciting, but it's hard for me to even say that because they're not coming out for so long from now, so it's hard to be really excited for Avengers, those 2 Avengers movies, because, like I said, we're not even close to it yet, so I'm going to keep those out of the list just because, like I said, they're so far ahead. I have no idea what that's going to look like when we get there, but of course, we'll get there eventually, and I'm sure I'll be very excited for it when we get closer to it. But for now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I think, is what I'm most excited for, just because I'm a big fan of the Guardians films. I mean, the first 2 were just phenomenal. I'm a big fan of the second one, even though a lot of people aren't a big fan of it. Obviously, the first one's like a masterpiece through and through, but third one, I have high hopes for it. James Gunn is incredible. It's probably going to be a pretty solid movie. I'm expecting it to be pretty solid. So it's up there. I know Adam Warlock's in it, and that's going to be really interesting to see. I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. I'm a big fan of all the Guardians, really. I mean, Rocket Raccoon's great to watch. I'm sure they're going to do some interesting stuff with Drax. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple people die. I think he actually confirmed a couple characters are going to die. So there's a lot of stuff there I'm interested to see. Fantastic Four, even though that's also pretty far ahead, I am very excited for it just because I really do like the Fantastic Four characters, and I'm really excited to see how they work in the MCU. That depends on the director, who the director will be, because I know it was originally supposed to be John Watts, but he dropped out for whatever reason. It could be because John Watts is doing the Avengers movies. That's a high possibility after No Way Home. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Feige was like, okay, we want you on the Avengers movies now. I don't know. But I don't know who's going to direct Fantastic Four. It honestly depends on that. That's my level of excitement will probably depend on the director and the cast as well. But I'm sure it's going to be great, so I'm definitely very excited for that. Ant-Man Quantumania, just because it's going to have a big importance to the whole series, because Kang the Conqueror is going to be in it. He's going to be one of the big bads of Phase 5 and 6, so I'm excited for Ant-Man Quantumania. Blade, I hope, will be R-rated, but I don't think it will be. But if it is R-rated, then I'll be very excited for it. If it's not R-rated, excitement drops a little bit, but I'm still looking forward to it. Deadpool 3, obviously, I'm excited for. Captain America 4, I'm excited for. I didn't love Falcon Winter Soldier that much, but that's only because of the villains. And obviously, it's going to have different villains, so I'm sure it could be really, really good. I think Sam Wilson as Captain America is going to be perfectly fine. I think Bucky's going to be in as well, and I love Bucky, so that's going to be fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to that. So all these so far I'm looking forward to. Like, there's not a single one here that I think I'm not caring for that much. But then when we looked at the shows, well, actually, there's 2 more. There's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which I wasn't looking forward to that much, but until the trailer, now I'm looking forward to it. And the Marvels, we haven't seen anything yet. I didn't like the first Captain Marvel, but I'm assuming she'll be a lot better in this one. I believe, a different... Is it a different director? Yeah, it is. Nia DaCosta's doing it, so it's a different director. But, so that's enough, gives me enough hope for the movie just because it's a different director, you know? So I guess I'm looking forward to it, not like a crazy amount. And then there's a Thunderbolts movie that I know nothing about yet. But those are the movies. In terms of the shows, Loki Season 2 I'm looking forward to. Because I really like Loki Season 1. Can't say I'm looking forward to She-Hulk that much. The only thing that really got me excited for it was Daredevil being in it. But I don't know, a TV comedy just doesn't sound that interesting to me. The Agatha show literally could give less of a fuck. Like, I don't care about that at all. I wasn't, like, she was cool in WandaVision, but I didn't care to see more. Like, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't But it doesn't matter that it exists. It's just it's going to be there. I'll probably watch it anyways, but I have no excitement for it. The Ironheart show, hard to say until I see Ironheart in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Then I'll have more of an opinion on how I feel about that and how excited I'll be for that show. And what are the other shows? There's the Secret Invasion, I guess I'm looking forward to. I don't really know exactly what that's going to entail, but I hope it's actually like really good and serious stuff, because I know it's going to be involving the multiverse and all that stuff, I'm assuming, so it should be good. I'm blanking on the other shows. I know there's Armor Wars, which they didn't even talk about yesterday, which is weird. But yeah, I'll think about the other ones later. Let me scroll up and see some other questions that I probably missed. I don't have a problem with Matt being funny. It just has to be in the right type. Yeah, it has to be clever. Exactly. Like, I mean, I don't really care if it's funny or not. I just don't want him to be... It depends on the time and place. You know, if he's fighting bad guys and, like, trying to save, you know, people from getting killed, like, he shouldn't be making jokes. But if it's, like, just him making a joke with, like, Foggy or something, that's completely different, you know? Really hope Blade is R. I agree. I hope they do more R-rated content, because I think the R-rated content is the stuff I tend to like the most. I'm not saying that it has to be R to be good. I'm just saying that, you know, history has proven itself that R-rated content, for me, my own opinion, I've enjoyed more. You look at my favorite comic book movies are Joker and Logan, both R-rated. So already my two favorite ones are both R-rated. Zack Snyder's Justice League is definitely my top like 10, 15 comic book movies. That's R-rated as well. So I think they need more R-rated content for superhero movies. I think that'd be great. How did you like the Chucky Season 2 teasers? So I'll be honest, the more I've thought about it, I don't think the teaser did that good of a job. But then again, it's a teaser, so hopefully the trailer itself will do a little bit better, because I don't think it really gave me enough to really be like excited for it that much. Of course, I'm looking forward to it just because it's Chucky. Obviously, I'm going to look forward to it. But the trailer, I mean, they showed like maybe 5 to 10 seconds of Chucky, and it wasn't like anything too crazy with him. It was just, you know, him. Seeing Glenn Glenda was interesting. You know, Tiffany doing some weird shit to Nico was intriguing, and seeing the main characters dealing with what happened in different ways, like Lexi was doing like drugs and stuff like that, was interesting to see. But I don't ultimately feel like they showed enough for me to really be like on board just yet. But hopefully the trailer does that. I was kind of hoping it was going to have a very different theme to it. Like, it doesn't really look like the theme's that interesting. It looks like it's going to take place in a church for a lot of it. There was a lot of scenes with like nuns, and there was a church. I don't know how that's going to play into the story, but I'm curious to see. You know, not really against how it looked, but I need to see more, I guess. The Marvel Zombies animated show is TVMA. Yo, yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't know why I said yo there. I meant to say yeah, but I said yo. But yeah, that's TVMA, so that's good. But then again, I don't know if they'll be doing that with the live action stuff as well. They better. Thank you, Gabriel. I really appreciate it. What's your favorite Indiana Jones movie? Mine is The Last Crusade. The dynamic between Sean Connery and Harrison Ford was amazing. Raiders is great, and for me, it's a close second. So I love that question, because my opinion is very unpopular when it comes to Indiana Jones. My favorite Indiana Jones film is Temple of the Doom, or Temple of Doom. It's not Temple of the Doom. It's just Temple of Doom. That's my favorite. Yeah, I know it's like no one else's favorite, because I mean it's like, if you look at it, it doesn't have much of a connection to the other two movies. Like, at least the 1 and 3 have more of a connection. 2 is just this random prequel that comes out of nowhere. There's like really no point for a prequel right there. So I get why people don't like that. But there's something about the story in this one that just I find so much more fun and enjoyable than the other two, even though I think the other two are incredible. Like, they're also some of my favorite movies ever. I think Raiders is a masterpiece, and I think the Crusade's a masterpiece. But I just have this attachment to Temple of Doom that I just don't have with the other two as much. I love Short Round. I think he's a really fun side character. Even Willie. Like, people hate her. They think she's terrible, but I think her really just obnoxious attitude towards everything is kind of fun. And I love the atmosphere. I love the things that happen to these characters. It's a very adventurous movie. I think it's the most adventurous out of all of them. I think that's why I like it the most. And then the fourth one, as probably most people's least favorite, it's my least favorite as well, but I still enjoy it. I think Indiana Jones is a pretty solid franchise all around, which is why I'm really excited for the fifth one. If you didn't watch Titans from HBO Max, a live-action Teen Titans show, you should. It's really good. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Are you starting Game of Thrones after Daredevil and The Boys? I need confirmation. Yes, I am going to start Game of Thrones probably around the time the prequel series the new series that's coming out, whenever that starts. I don't even know when that starts, but around the time that starts is I think when I'll start Game of Thrones. So whenever that is, I'll start watching Game of Thrones. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get through The Boys. Daredevil, we're probably gonna start Jessica Jones as well, just because a lot of people seem to want at least season 1 of Jessica Jones, so I might do that. I'm probably not gonna do Luke Cage or Iron Fist, but I'll probably watch those on my own, and then the Defenders I'll do. So we'll get to it. But I'm just gonna finish Daredevil season 2 first, and The Boys I'm getting through. I'm gonna try to get through pretty fast because I'm loving The Boys a lot. Do you think the MCU would have been better if every movie was its own independent thing instead of a commercial for other movies or series? So that's a great question. I am kind of in the middle on this because it's been a topic that I think a lot of people have been talking about recently in regards to the MCU, where some people are complaining that Phase 4 is like directionless and there's like no, connection between everything, like everything's kind of scattered. And then there's other people who say, oh, that's a good thing. They like it being all scattered. They don't want this connection. They want movies to be their own thing. I'm in the middle where I like both. I want to have connected movies. I want to have things that work off of each other. But I also want stories that are just separate stories and have literally nothing to do with everything else. But eventually the character is brought into like an Avengers movie, for example, which I think was a perfect idea. Like, look at Phase 1. You have different stories that are separate from each other. Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America 1. They're all separate. They have no, other than like Easter eggs and stuff, there's no reason you have to watch another one to understand the other one. But then when they all come together in Avengers, then you feel like you have to watch those ones in order to understand Avengers completely, because those characters, their stories previously matter for this movie. That's the way I think it works best. And I do think MCU does pretty good at that for the most part. I don't think you're required to watch everything. Like, look at Moon Knight. Moon Knight has had like the least connection to anything else. You could have skipped Moon Knight and you'll be completely fine, I'm sure, for quite some time. I don't think Moon Knight's going to really play a big role in the MCU for quite some time. I don't think it ever might ever play a big role. Moon Knight as a character might just appear in other places later on, maybe, but you don't have to watch everything. And I think people assume they do, but you really don't. You really don't. There's definitely some... They should do a better job of maybe explaining what would be good to watch, because obviously if you watch, like, let's say you just watch the Captain America trilogy, that's it, you watch Cap 1, 2, and 3, you're going to be confused because there's other movies that do connect to those ones. So that's like an occasion where, yeah, you probably should watch some other ones. Even when it comes to Spider-Man, I feel like the Spider-Man trilogy, if you haven't seen, Infinity War, for example, you're going to be confused. Or if anywhere in Endgame, you're going to be a little bit confused in Far From Home, like how that all plays off of it. So yeah, I could definitely see some people's points, but I don't think literally every property is a necessity to watch, and I do like that. I think Moon Knight being its own thing was cool. Yes, it has a connection. It's in the same universe, but it feels like its own thing. That's I think the best way I can put it. I want more MCU things that are very much their own thing, and I think they're going to be starting to do that. They have kind of felt like they have been for a bit, so... I'm most excited for Avengers Secret Wars and least excited for Loki Season 2. Hated Season 1. Okay. I boycotted Marvel at Iron Man 2. Can't wait to see the final episodes of The Walking Dead. I agree. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure what to expect, but we'll see. Did you hear the unconfirmed rumor about Ryan Gosling maybe wanting to join the MCU as Ghost Rider? I think they were kind of joking around with that. I don't think he's actually going to do that. I think it should be Norman Reedus. I'm still of the opinion Norman Reedus should be Ghost Rider. He's a little short, but I think he could play Ghost Rider. I don't really think Ghost Rider needs to be like a tall guy, to be honest. But I'm hoping to see Norman Reedus as Ghost Rider. And I know this probably won't happen, but I'm hoping to see Zack Snyder direct a Ghost Rider movie. I think he'd be the perfect director for a Ghost Rider movie. Glad that Marvel is making a new Daredevil show after the Netflix show. I agree. Characters don't die in the MCU. Multiverse gimmick can bring anyone back. So I partially agree with this, but I partially don't. Because, yeah, they can bring people back, but not, like, in the way you think. Because you can't just, like for example, spoilers for Endgame, which I'm sure most of you have seen it, or at least heard of this. But if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, just, pause the video. Tony Stark dying, right? He's not just going to magically, like, he died, right? And yes, could they break reality by, you know, one of the characters who have the ability to multiversal travel go and find another Tony Stark, another universe, and bring him into the main universe? Sure, but that's against like the time rules, and that's fucking things up. And that's what I think is so good about what they're doing in the universe, is that they're making sure those like plot holes are covered, and they are. And I don't think they're plot holes anymore, because you can't really do that. The TVA is there. The TVA is making sure things, you know, aren't going like that. That's why Loki can't just come back into the main universe, because they're not allowing him to. And then you have stuff like even Multiverse of Madness covers that very well. Wanda wants her children, but she can't have them because they're in other universes. Just because there's people that exist in other universes does not mean you can just bring them into your own. She's trying to, but that's, you know, she was the villain. She was doing something wrong there that she's not allowed to do. I do agree that too many characters come back and stay alive, but in different ways for me. Like, for my example of that would be like another spoiler for Thor: Love and Thunder, just in case you haven't seen Love and Thunder, don't watch the video. Jane, when she dies at the end of Love and Thunder, right? I want that to be definitive, right? Because she died. Leave it. But I have a feeling they're going to do some shit where Thor is going to be able to bring her back somehow. And I would agree, I wouldn't like that. But then again, they might not. I don't know. They might keep her Valhalla, and that would be, in my opinion, the best thing for her. But if they do bring her back, it would just, yeah, I agree, it would be kind of annoying. It's like, why is everyone coming back? It takes away those emotional beats. But if it has to do with, like, coming, you know, from the multiverses and stuff, I don't think that's really a problem, because, again, they can't go into their original universe. The Loki show is Loki separately. Loki's not going to visit Thor from the main universe. He might see him at one point, I don't know. But he's not going to be able to go back with Thor and be with him forever. Like, that's just not going to happen. Our Thor, he's not going to be able to go back with. Same for Gamora, right? We saw a different version of Gamora, but that Gamora can't come back to Chris Pratt. Or Star-Lord, I'm calling him the actor's name. He can't go back to her. He can't. He tried to, and he realized, no, she's got to go back. She's going to go back. And I don't think she's going to appear in Guardians 3. Maybe he's going to try to, but then it's going to be one of those things where it's like, no, you have to let her go. That's sort of a storyline for him, I'm assuming. So I partially agree, but also don't, because I think they do a good job of making it so the multiverse can't be a gimmick for that. But there are other times where, yes, they do bring people back, and it's like a little bit much. It's like, no, they should probably just stay dead. My top 5 most anticipated are Fantastic Four, both Avengers, Guardians 3, and Ant-Man 3. That's fair. You think Daredevil will be in 5 and 6, Avengers 5 and 6? Probably. Oh shit, a lot of questions. It is so hot in this room. It's like 99 degrees out or some shit. Predictions for who is going to die in the last part of The Walking Dead. It's a hard one. It's a really hard one, because I used to be really good at predicting those things for The Walking Dead, but honestly, at this point, I don't really think they follow this like a good storytelling way of killing off characters. It almost feels like random at some points. So it's hard for me to tell. Like honestly, the Pike deaths felt very random. Like, that was one of those occasions where it didn't feel like any of those deaths were built up, which is supposed to be random. So I guess it makes sense for the story, or for like the realism of the story. But for the story, it didn't make sense. For the part of the story that I think is like the writing, I just don't think it made sense for that. But if we're going off of realistic, realism, sure, it would be random in The Walking Dead. Alpha's not going to pick out the characters who had the most character development, but you're writing a story, make it interesting. Don't just kill off random people, right? But at this point, I feel like that's what they do. So I don't know, and I don't expect that many people are going to die. I just don't. So, but if I'm going to go with 1 or 2 characters, I'll say Aaron, and I don't think they'll have the stomach to kill off Aaron, actually. I don't think they'll have the stomach to kill off a lot of people. I don't know. They want to make the ending happy, I feel like, so they're not going to kill off too many people. If someone does die, either Gabriel or Aaron, one of those two. There's no way both of them are going to survive for that much longer. And obviously side characters, they'll probably kill off a bunch. But for the main people, not too many. If Hugh Jackman is in Deadpool 3, do you think he will be Wolverine again, or a completely different character? I don't think Hugh Jackman's coming back as Wolverine. I honestly thought he would, in Doctor Strange 2. That was the last time I would have ever expected to see him again. Not the fact that he wasn't in it, I'm never expecting to see him again. I kind of don't want to. I think his ending in Logan was perfect. I would say just give it to a new actor now for the MCU. I still think they should bring back Daphne Keane as Laura, as X-23. But I don't know if they'll bring back Hugh Jackman, and like I said, I don't really know if I want them to. I've been hearing the guy from Kingsman apparently was rumored to be playing the new Wolverine, the main character from Kingsman, the guy who plays Eggsy. And I didn't think that made sense at first, but I looked at more pictures of the actor, and I'm like, I could see it. You know, I could definitely see it. But honestly, I don't know. I love the old man Logan more than like a really young Logan, though. So that's the only part of me that is not sure about like a younger Wolverine. But if they want him for a while, I guess it would make sense to have one, you know? Stranger Things or Breaking Bad. I mean, I love both of them, but I prefer Breaking Bad just a little bit. With special effects editors speaking out of Marvel, how do you think it will affect all these projects? 15 revealed so far, 8 left to be revealed, 20. They just need to hire more people. Like, I think they can pump out projects that fast. Just, you have the money for it. Go hire more people, you know? You shouldn't have all these, you know... Because the problem is they probably just don't have enough people, so they're forcing these, you know, little amounts of people to work on these projects and rush them, essentially. But they could get things done quicker with more people. That's usually how it works. Have you thought of watching the Umbrella Academy in the near future? I haven't really thought about it, but if enough people wanted it, maybe. Do you think... I always forget how to say his name. Is it Mahershala or is it Mahershala Ali? Is that how you say it? Will be a better Blade than Wesley Snipes. I don't think it really matters who's better, to be honest, because I think they can both do a great job, but I hope he does a great job. He definitely looks like he'd do a great job, so I have hope for it. Now that the Walking Dead trailer has come out and the new show announcement, do you still believe that Rick and Michonne will return? Oh yeah, for sure. In the main show, at least for the last couple episodes, 100%. 100%. Who would you want as the new MCU Wolverine? Oh, I guess I just kind of answered that. The actor who plays Eggsy in Kingsman. That's my pick. He just, I don't know, he looks the part. He's a good actor, so sure. Thank you so much. Do you celebrate any new milestone in subscribers, if at all? Yeah, sometimes I'll do like a Q&A live stream just to celebrate it. I don't really do something specific to do it. 25K, I don't think I would do something too crazy, but maybe like 50K, I would do something a little bit more interesting, you know? Do you think we will get Punisher in the MCU? We better, and it better be my man John Bernthal. Have you played the Telltale Walking Dead games? I have, yeah. And I love them. I might open a window. No, I was going to say I was going to open a window because it's like really hot in here, but then I realized it's really hot outside, so that would absolutely do nothing. Can't believe they didn't announce the Mutants or X-Men movie at Comic-Con. Yeah, I mean, part of me believes... No, I think... I hope this isn't the case, but I think it's possible they might not even do Mutants or X-Men stuff till, like, Phase 7, maybe. I know, because there's a lot of unannounced movies in Phase 6. But those could just be sequels, you know what I mean? It could be like, we didn't think of Shang-Chi 2. There's probably a Doctor Strange 3 in there. I don't think they put Spider-Man, like they don't put Sony stuff on their thing, so I guess it doesn't include Spider-Man stuff, so that's its own thing. But there's gonna be a couple of shows, so I don't know if the mutant stuff will even come till like Phase 7 after the Avengers stuff, you know? And then Phase 7 through 9 could be like completely mutants focused. But we'll see. We'll see. If they do anything with them, it'll probably... Because I just don't know, because they can't just... Mutants are such a specific thing, they can't just rush into the story like that, you know? But again, if we don't get it till Phase 7, that means we're not going to get X-Men stuff till 2026, which would be insane to have to wait 4 years until that. We just got our first tease about mutants just this year in Miss Marvel, so... I don't know. I hope to see it sooner. There could be at least one movie, I think, maybe. Maybe they'll literally call it The Mutants, and they'll do it at Phase 6. That's possible. But would they even be a part of the Avengers movies then? I don't know. Because I could see them doing Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty movie. I could see them doing both of those without mutants because there's already so many characters. It's gonna be hard to include even more people, like a whole ass X-Men team you want to include in there too. It'd be a bit crazy, but I don't know. I hear Indiana Jones 5 is actually coming out next year. Your thoughts? Are you optimistic? Yes, I am very optimistic only because James Mangold is directing it. So yeah, if it was anyone else, maybe I'd be a little skeptical, but I really trust James Mangold after Logan, so I think it'll be good. And I think what I need them to do for that movie, in my opinion, is for them to pass the mantle to someone else, because I really don't think, like, everyone's all like, oh, he's so old, how can he play Indiana Jones still? I don't think he's going to be doing a bunch of action stunt stuff in that movie. He might do some, but I don't think it's going to be focused on that. I think the people who are going to be doing the action stuff will be other characters. And there's I forget who it is, but there's some female character that was casted, and I think she's going to be one of the leads, so they might try to have her be like the lead, and like Indy's like the mentor almost. I would have preferred it was Short Round, and Short Round was the one being mentored by Indy, but I don't know if they'll do that. It might be this new character, and that's, I think, the best route to go. Have this other new character be the one doing all the action stunt stuff. Obviously Harrison's probably not going to want to do all that, but I'm really curious, very curious what they do with this movie. I'm assuming we'll get our first teaser at least at D23 in September. Did the DC trailers get you excited for the movies? Or did the MCU take all your hype? Oh, I'm for both for sure. They didn't show much for DC, which I think is a little bit not good about them, because I mean, they didn't show too much. They showed 2 trailers and that's it. They didn't talk about anything else. Obviously, Marvel only did 2 trailers too, but they also revealed like 4 years worth of movies. It's because DC obviously doesn't have the like a plan as much. But there's other movies they could have talked about, at least, like Batgirl. They could have talked about. They could have talked about Blue Beetle. They could have talked about the Joker sequel, the Batman sequels. They could have talked about a lot, but they just chose not to. I hear Daredevil's getting 18 episodes. It is, yeah. Yeah, I've heard all the news about all the. I've seen all of it, yeah. I really enjoyed Phase 4 so far. I think too many people expect it to be the standards. Phase 3 set. Yeah, I agree. I'm okay with Phase 4. I haven't loved every movie in it or every show, but there's enough in it that I enjoyed that I can say I think Phase 4 is good. Who do you think would be a good choice for Ben Grimm the Thing? I think it was already rumored. I forget who the actor was, but there was someone who was rumored for it, and he looked like he could fit the part, but I forget who it was, to be honest. It's the one that's going around, the main rumor that's going around. I think that's the person who was. How do you feel about Marvel absolutely blowing DC out of the water yesterday? Well, yeah, they did, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Like, I'm the type of person who, I don't see these like individual conferences as being that big of a deal for the grand scheme of things. Like, yeah, in terms of what happened yesterday, yes, Marvel's stuff they did it better. They got people excited more so than DC possibly ever could, because they didn't show as much. But DC can literally announce something tomorrow randomly. Like, it doesn't have to be at an event, you know what I mean? And I think DC's probably going to have their own event. They did the DC fandom thing last year. I'm sure they'll do something like that again. Obviously, Marvel also has the D23 thing, but I think there's enough chances for Warner Brothers to talk about something DC related in the future. I don't think they had to do it all yesterday. I just think it would have been better if they did it all yesterday. Valhalla is like not the MCU's version of heaven, but it's the Asgardians' version of heaven, essentially. Do you want Krasinski back as Reed? Honestly, I would have been fine with him, but I didn't like his performance in Doctor Strange 2. I don't think a lot of people did. He felt stiff in it. Like, it felt like he was forced to be in the movie. Like, I don't know. So I don't know if I'd want him back. I think he'd be fine if like they just did better, and I think he's a great actor. He's not a bad actor. I just think he just didn't care too much for the role. I don't know. They probably offered him a lot of money. They're like, people really want this. Please just do it. I don't know. That could have been possible. I would be absolutely shocked if Hugh Hackman as Logan isn't in Secret Wars. I wouldn't expect it, to be honest. I just wouldn't. I think his ending was pretty good, so I don't really need to see him again. I'm confused about Spider-Man Fresh and Near timeline. I don't know if it's in the main MC. I think it's just another universe. It's just a, multiverse thing. Are you excited to see Will Poulter as Adam Warlock? I'm very excited. Yeah, I think Zac Efron would have been good too, but I think will do just fine as well. What's your favorite trailer from all parts of Season 11? Favorite trailer out of the different Season 11 trailers? I don't really remember the other ones, to be honest. I think the first Season 11 trailer was pretty good for the first part, right? Yeah, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine's one of the best casting choices. Yep, 100%. What do you think AMC is going to do with the future of Morgan's character in the future? Something other than what they're doing now. I haven't seen Fear Season 7, so I can't speak on Fear Season 7, but I want him out of Fear the Walking Dead. I don't want him back in the main show. I just want to see him reunite with Rick. That's all I want. They can do whatever the fuck they want with him after that. I just want to see him reunite with Rick. That's it. Have you watched Euphoria? Only seen the first episode of the first season, and I don't think it would be my type of show. So probably not. But I think Phase 7 and 9 will focus on mutants. That's what I'm thinking. That'll be a big part of it, at least. Maybe it'll go into like the cosmic side of Marvel a little bit more, but I think mutants is definitely going to be a focus. I honestly think that because the thing about Marvel is there's even DC, like comic books in general, there's so much material, and I see people saying, "Oh, they're gonna run out of material soon." No, they're fucking not. There's so much shit out there. Will people get bored of it soon? That's very possible. They might get sick of the same old shit. They might. But in terms of the characters and the universes and the locations, they can do so many things with that. I just don't know if people are gonna still care. That's what might go wrong with the MCU, but they have enough material to last like probably 30 fucking years. Like it can go on for so long. I mean, just think of the villains they can do. I was thinking of who's probably going to be the big bad for Phase 7 and 9, because I know for now it's going to be Kang the Conqueror, and I'm assuming Doctor Doom as well. I'm assuming Doctor Doom's going to be introduced in Fantastic Four, and he'll be a big bad in Secret Wars. But probably not in Kang Dynasty. I think Kang Dynasty is going to be more focused on Kang. Secret Wars will be more focused on Doctor Doom. 7 and 9 could still have Doctor Doom being a big focus, but I'm thinking like there's so many other villains they can introduce. Galactus could be a big one. They can do some X-Men villains. They can bring what's his name, Apocalypse. I know people hated how he was done in X-Men Apocalypse, but they can bring him and actually do it like, in a way that people like. Magneto could be a pretty. Magneto wouldn't be like a big bad, like a Thanos level villain, but he could definitely be a really solid villain for the X-Men specific films, obviously. So we'll see. Do you think Scarlet Witch will get a solo project? I hope. I hope. I mean, I don't think she's dead, but I hope. If she did die, like how it seemed like she did in Doctor Strange 2, that'd be kind of dumb. But yeah, I do think she'll be back. Yeah, DC's probably saving their stuff for DC fandom. They also, I mean, it makes sense. I understand why they didn't talk about Aquaman 2 and The Flash because of the controversies around them. But everything else, I was like, why not bring it up at least, Yeah, there's a trailer reaction to Wakanda Forever on my channel, yep. I'm gonna chew gum. My throat's been hurting a little bit lately, so helps keep everything salivated so, my throat's not killing me. Do you think that Rick Michonne's story, or do you think Rick Michonne's show will make Rick's story feel complete? I'll have to wait and see. You can't really know until you watch it, you know what I mean? Who do you think will play the Fantastic Four? I don't know. The problem with fan casts for me, right, is that they usually pick well-known actors In my opinion, I prefer seeing people I've literally never heard of before. That is what I love in movies, when they can introduce me to a completely new actor, so I can just get lost in this actor's performance. Obviously, if they do well-known people, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But I think fan casts are always choosing like just the well-known people. That's it, you know. But some fan casts I like a little bit. You know, I think there's some that work. I think the guy who plays Steve in Stranger Things was rumored to play what's his name, Johnny Storm, but I could see that happening. I could also see him or the actor who played Billy. Either one of those could be it. Any guy who's like a typical, like, you know, cool bully boy, you know, that type of, you know, attitude, it could easily play Johnny Storm. Have you seen the 2004 Hellboy film yet? Nope, haven't seen any. Oh no, I know who's back in Fear the Walking Dead season 7. I haven't seen it, but I've heard the news. It's kind of impossible to miss. They kind of announced it publicly. Like I'm not gonna miss that, you know. But might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't really give a rat's ass about that character. I won't spoil it because some people might have had not seen it, but I honestly don't care. Like, I'm gonna watch it, but that character was never one that I cared that much about. Like everyone was freaking out when she was gone. I'm like, I never had much of a connection to this character. I just never did. I don't know. What's your favorite episode on TV? Either Breaking Bad Ozymandias or The Walking Dead Too Far Gone. Or maybe even season 3 finale of Stranger Things. Daredevil season 2 episode 4, which I just watched a couple days ago, was fucking phenomenal. That's up there. Do you think the New Walkers will end up being the cause of the demise of a fan favorite? Do you mean, oh, the demise of, like, you think they're gonna, yeah, I'm sure one person will die from the New Walkers, yeah. What's up? I'm so off also, I tried to say your name way too quickly and it just did not come out right. I'm so awesome face. How you doing, dude? Have you seen Sweet Tooth? No, I haven't seen it. What's it about? I'm gonna start watching Marvels. Can you tell me something you know about Marvel movies? Uh, Anything? There's 29 of them in the MCU so far. That's what I know, I guess. What kind of movies do you like more, vampire movies or werewolves? I haven't seen many werewolf movies, so I really couldn't tell you much about that. I've seen a lot of vampire movies though, and I do like them. Who gives a shit about Agatha? I fucking agree. That's what I'm saying. How do you like Phase 4? I don't really like it besides Spider-Man. So okay, I'll pull up my Letterboxd. And I'll show you guys my thoughts on like most of these movies because people seem to care. We'll look at, where's MCU? I have an MCU ranking here somewhere. Yeah, right here. No, that's MCU shows. No. Where's the MCU? It should be right here. Okay. There we go. So, Phase 4. What was in Phase 4? So Eternals was in Phase 4. That was pretty low for me. It's not that low. Like I still thought it was. I gave it a 7 out of 10. That's not bad at all. Like that's a fine. Well, 7 out of 10 for this, but it'd probably be like a 6.5 out of 10. I just round up. So, you know, that's not terrible though. What else was in Phase 4? Shang-Chi, which is pretty high. Thor, it's not that crazy high, but it's high enough. Thor: Love and Thunder has actually lowered on my list a little bit. Originally, I had it in front of Ragnarok when I first saw it, but then I saw it again, and I'm like, nah, that's not that good. So I lowered it a little bit. Shang-Chi, like I said, somewhat high. And then Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are like my top 10. So yeah, I think most of it's good. I mean, that's a pretty decent amount of movies that are pretty high in my ranking. Oh, Black Widow as well, but that's kind of just in the middle, pretty much. And then you go to the shows, right? The shows are a whole nother story, because where are them shows at? Because the only ones I've really loved out of the shows were Loki, I mean, Hawkeye was decent, and WandaVision was decent too. Moon Knight, I was disappointed with. I thought it was good for most of it, but, you know. Falcon and Winter Soldier had a lot of great stuff, but the villains were terrible. So that kind of ruined a big part of it, unfortunately. And the Miss Marvel, I thought was just like it did its thing, but it was clearly just not something that was that interesting. I think it'd be a lot better for younger audiences, personally. It didn't really do much. I love the character, but I think I'd prefer to see her in like other properties. So that's kind of just how I felt about those, I guess. I'll go back to the other view. So I guess most of it I liked, you know. I don't want Magneto to be a villain again. We've already, yeah, I guess, but this is gonna be a new Magneto, you know, a new start. But I guess he'll start as a villain, probably turn to a hero or anti-hero, you know. Why don't you think Agatha's show will be good? Oh, okay. Let me rephrase myself, because when I say I'm not excited for something, that doesn't mean I don't think it's gonna be good. It just means I don't care for it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. You know, movies are like that, or even shows are like that in a way where I can agree something's, you know, well done, it's well made, but it's for certain people. Like, it's not for me. Like, if you're interested in Agatha's character, you're interested in all that witchcraft stuff that's going to be happening in it, then you're probably going to like the show. But I just never had that much of an interest in her character, even in WandaVision. I mean, she was a good villain, but beyond that, am I going to want to see more of it? Probably not. So that's my view on it. It's not that I don't think it's going to be good. It's just that I'm not that excited for it. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. But I'm sure she'll do great. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure it might be amazing. I don't know, but I just don't have excitement for it. That's kind of what I mean. Yeah, what's happening with the holiday special? Yeah, the Guardians holiday special. What the fuck? They didn't talk about it at all yesterday, did they? I didn't hear them say anything about it. So I don't know if they just forgot it existed or they canceled it, because it's coming. It's supposed to come out in like 5 months. I think it was supposed to come out December 2022, but they just haven't said shit about it. So I don't know. Do you think Stranger Things will kill off an OG character or bring in another new lovable character and kill them off? They gotta kill off at least one OG for season 5. They gotta. Yeah, Penn Badgley as Reed, I've been hearing, and it would take a lot for me because I have to get over him being a creep in You, which is the only thing I've seen him in. So him being this, going from being this creep in one show to being this one of the smartest man, you know, on the planet, like, it's gonna be hard, you know, to see him as a different person. But we'll see. Which MCU movie are you most excited to see? For the ones that are coming out within the next like 2 years, Guardians 3. Marvel superhero movies are seriously overkill now. I disagree. They're making money, so of course they're going to keep making a bunch of them. And I think they're diverse enough in terms of like the stories that they do to the point where it's worth it. It's worth having a bunch of different ones. Where does What If fit in your ranking? Oh, I've only seen a couple of the episodes, and I wasn't really crazy about it. I think there was the Doctor Strange episode was great, and the last two were great. But like a lot of them, I don't know. I'm already not that interested in animated stuff in general. Like, I know people freak out when I say that because they're like, oh my god, there's so many animated masterpieces out there. And I agree, there's really great animated films out there. I just tend to not prefer them, so I tend to not watch them as much. So that was already like a hurdle I had to get over to watch that show. But they're just these side stories. I'm also not a big fan of anthology series for the most part because I like continuing stories. And if you kind of stick a short story in like 20, 30 minutes, I'm probably not going to care much about it. But there's a couple episodes that I think were really great and that actually fit into other stuff. Like, it got me excited for other multiverse stuff. So yeah, it was decent. You know, I would give it like a 6 out of 10, I guess. Was Endgame the end of Phase 3? No, I think Far From Home was, which came out right after Endgame, so. Do you think The Walking Dead Season 11 is better than Season 10? Yes, I do. What's your favorite horror movies in recent days? Do you mean like what's my favorite that's come out recently, or do you mean what's my favorite that I've had recently? Well, some of my favorites are Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play 2, Silence of the Lambs, if you consider that a horror movie, I do. Seven, if you consider that a horror movie, I do. What else? A Quiet Place, It. Signs and The Sixth Sense, also two movies a lot of people don't consider horror movies, but I do. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 I really like as well. There's a couple other ones. Do you think the other Vision is going to be in Avengers Secret Wars? Probably. He'll show up eventually. I liked every Walking Dead season except for 8. That was my least favorite. Fair. I liked all the seasons. A little off topic, but what do you know about Scream 6? Will you see it in theaters? All I know about it is that it takes place in New York City. Samara Weaving's in it. And they're still in talks about the whole Neve Campbell thing. I think Neve Campbell says she's not going to be in it. But, is it Neve Campbell? It's Neve Campbell, right? Yeah. I feel like I always get her name wrong. I always mix up her name with her character's name. You know? I think I've called her Neve Prescott once. And I've called her Sydney Campbell once. But no, Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott's the character. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to see it in theaters, yeah. I know it takes place in New York City, like I said. I know a couple of the actors and actresses who were in it, but that's about it. When the X-Men come in the MCU, I want either the older cast or Apocalypse's cast. They're not going to do the original casts, I don't think. It's probably going to be completely new people. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't talk about anything regarding Star Wars at Comic-Con. They're probably going to save that for D23, but I thought they would say something. Do you have a Letterboxd account? I do, yeah. I was just showing it a few minutes ago. It should be in the description. If it's not, let me check. Oh, yeah, it's in the description, yeah. Oh, if you ever need something to answer, always check the description. It might have an answer for you. So excited for Chucky Season 2. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm bringing a box of tissues for Black Panther 2. I've never cried during a movie, but something tells me this might be the first. Really, never cried during a movie. I kind of want to make a list of movies I've cried to. Because I think it's probably like 10 to 15 movies, maybe. I don't cry that often either, but there's been a couple. Actually, one I watched today made me cry. But when I say cry, I mean like tear. I don't mean like sitting there sobbing my eyes out, like raining. I don't mean that. Like I just mean like a tear. Like, you guys have seen it. I'm sure if you've seen some of my reactions, you've probably seen it. It's like a 1 or 2 tears. I consider that crying. Top 3 most anticipated projects. Like any projects, movies, shows, games, all of that. I'll go with just movies. For movies, shit, that's hard. I guess it has to be something recent because it's hard to get excited for something that's coming out so far from now. Like Avengers, those 2 Avengers movies coming out in 2025. I'm sure I'm going to be very excited for them when it comes to that time, but that's 3 years from now, so I can't really get too excited for it, and we don't know too much about it yet. But for now, I mean, Guardians 3 I'm very excited for. Indiana Jones 5 I'm very excited for. What else? John Wick 4. A new Nightmare on Elm Street movie, which I know it's not been announced, but like, fuck, they have to do it eventually. They have to. Green Mile, yeah, Green Mile got me good. I know, just off the top of my head, Green Mile, Logan, I can't think. There's been a lot, though. Season 3 or Season 4 of Breaking Bad? Season 3 of Stranger Things or Season 4 of Breaking Bad? Probably... I don't know. Season 3, Stranger Things is more fun, but Breaking Bad's better. In terms of, like, it's just a better made show. You know, it's better. The writing's perfect. There's nothing... It's flawless, so... I actually prefer Season 5 of Breaking Bad. I'm one of the people who thinks every season gets better in Breaking Bad. I think 2 is better than 1, then 3 is better than the last 2, then 4 is better than the last 3, then 5 is better than the last 4. You speak really clear and you're really easy to understand. I'm very surprised you said that, because I don't think I'm ever speaking clearly. I think most of the time I am, but sometimes I mess up my words and it ends up being all over the place, but I appreciate it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah, I mean, people are going to die in it, so I could definitely see that happening. They have to do a new Friday the 13th eventually. Yeah, there's been a lot of legal trouble with that. That's the only reason it hasn't happened yet. It would have otherwise, but there's been a lot of legal shit going on with that. That's the only reason it hasn't happened. I hardly never cry at a movie. Sob during Love and Thunder during those ending deaths. You know why I didn't feel emotional during those scenes at the end of Love and Thunder? Because two times before that, in that same movie, they did some fake out death stuff. So like at that point, I just assumed it was gonna be another fake out. So I didn't expect that character to die. You know? And I still, to this minute, don't believe that it's truly gone, you know, that this character is done for. I'm surprised we didn't get anything Deadpool. Yeah, so I think, is Deadpool like Disney, or is, because I know Disney has the rights to it or whatever, but like, is it still technically Disney making Deadpool? Because yeah, that is weird if they wouldn't have anything Deadpool on the timeline, which they already announced it, so why wouldn't they? Well, they also didn't have Armor Wars on the timeline. Armor Wars has definitely been officially announced. No, they didn't mention Mr. Clark in Stranger Things 4, because, I mean, there's no reason to, I guess. He's kind of not relevant to the story. He was just kind of there, and there was no use for him anymore. He's the middle school teacher, so they're not even there anymore, so. Glad you're enjoying Jeepers Creepers. Honest, the Taking of Deborah Logan is a movie for the list, 100%. Also, Black Phone was cool. Black Phone was really cool. Who's hyped for Halloween Ends? I hope it comes to Peacock so I can watch it like Halloween Kills is. I don't think it's coming out right away, but it should eventually. Well, yeah, Deadpool is Fox, but Disney like bought Fox, right? Like they have the rights to the X-Men stuff, so that includes Deadpool. I don't know how that deal works exactly though, so I'm not sure, but I think they have the rights to that, right? I'm going to be ending the stream soon, by the way. I'm not going to go on for too long just because my throat's been hurting lately, so I don't want to be talking too much. It's going to, you know, hurt it even worse, but I think the only reason they revealed the Avengers movies is because oh my god, I read that as titties. I read that as, I think the only reason they revealed the Avengers movies is because the titties, but it's the titles. Because the titles got leaked the day before. Oh yeah, that's actually a high possibility. You might be right. That is true. They did get leaked. I saw them get leaked. That's why I wasn't too surprised by the names, but yeah. Season 6 is my favorite season of The Walking Dead. Yep. I'm excited for Chucky Season 2. I am. Yes, they have the rights to it, so I guess they could have shown Deadpool there. They're not going to show the Sony stuff, though, so like Spider-Man, they weren't going to show there. We bet will die in Scream 6. Not Gail, because she's going to be the only... she's going to be the only OG cast member, which is weird. Like, I love Courtney Cox, but like, I don't know. I just can't see her being by herself as the only, you know, OG character. So not her, but not Kirby either. They're bringing her back. I don't even remember who the hell Gale or Mindy is, to be honest. I forget those character names. So maybe one of them. I saw you recently watched La La Land on your Letterboxd. Did you record a video for it? I didn't. I did not record a video for it. I don't record a video for everything I watch. Like, I hope people understand why, because there's a lot of times where it's like, yeah, of course I would like to watch certain movies for the reaction, but I also have a life outside of the channel, and sometimes you want to watch movies with certain people, so, you know, that happens. Like A Quiet Place Part 2 that happened. I was out with friends, they wanted to go watch the movie. I'm not going to be like, sorry guys, I can't watch it, I have to film it for a video. You know, I gotta live my life a little bit, so I did watch that with my girlfriend. I didn't watch that for the channel, which I know some people might have wanted it, but, you know. I just watched Top Gun Maverick. Have you seen the movies yet? No, but that is one I might do for the channel. That's one I've been thinking about seeing it in the theaters, but I might ultimately do it for the channel because I haven't gotten around to seeing it for the theaters yet, so I might just do it for the channel. I don't know. I fell in love with Miss Marvel's character throughout the Avengers game, and I think they really did Kamala justice. I have it way higher than most people probably would. I think she was the best part of the show, which is good because she's the main character. But for me, it was like almost everything else I didn't like. Like it was like her character was great, which is good because her character is the one that matters the most because she's going to be the one in other properties. So like I'm sure it's going to be really fun just to watch in the Marvels movie. But a lot of stuff about the show that I just didn't like otherwise. Who's your favorite final girl? Probably Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Excited for your journey with the boys? Oh, me too. Thank you so much. I didn't even wait. I'm so stupid. I read that as like a normal comment. I didn't even see that it was a super chat. Thank you so much, Lana.org, for the $10 donation. I'm excited to watch the rest of it. I'm very, very excited. I only have 4 more episodes of season 1, and it's not too many episodes, which is good because I want to get through it. I want to be able to be caught up with everyone else because I keep getting, like I go on TikTok, keep getting TikToks of it. I have to like swipe up really quick because I don't want to get any spoilers. So I'm like, as quick as I can. If I see anything with the boys related, I'm like, swiping up as soon as I can. But I don't think they would bring back Kirby just to kill her off. Yeah. Have you watched the Resident Evil movies? Not a single one of them. Gale's the easiest character to write in the Scream movies. Wherever Ghostface is, Gale will go. Yeah, I guess it's true. Sydney is difficult to write, and you have to give a really good damn reason why she's gonna join in, the story. Oh, yeah, I know who Gale is. Did I say Gale before? Did I say I don't know who Gale is? Wait, let me look at that comment. Oh, you're right, I did say Gale. I was just talking about Gale like a second before. That's funny. Obviously, I know who Gale is. Yeah, did I say Gale? I meant to say Chad and Mindy. I forget who Chad and Mindy are, not Gale. I know who Gale is. I know Sam, Tara, Mindy, and Chad. I forget who the fuck those 2 people are. That's what I meant. What's your favorite season of television? Probably Breaking Bad season 5. Vecna versus Beta? Oh, Jesus. Vecna would literally slit that man's entire body into thousands of pieces. Beta's literally just a crazy dude with a mask on. Vecna's literally got the power of like another universe. Favorite character in The Boys? Currently, I've only seen 4 episodes. I would say Homelander's the most interesting character, so I'm really excited to see more of him. Huey's the most like relatable character, I guess. So I like Huey for that. Butcher's the most comedically funny character. And Starlight's the friendliest character. I don't know which one's my favorite, but there's different things I like about all of them, I guess. I don't know. Chad and Mindy are the twins. Okay. Chad and Mindy are the twins. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. I forget the names. I've seen that movie once and I saw it in January, so I honestly don't remember. But there you go. Thank you. All right. Officially, I'm going to end the stream in 5 minutes. No way am I going past 5 minutes. That's a complete lie. It always happens. I'm always like 10 minutes left and I'm here for another 40 minutes, but I'm actually going to try to end it in 5 minutes. Vecna, best recent new villain. Oh, hell yeah. Kind of want to do like a ranking of the best like fictional villains. For me, it would be like Thanos, Negan, Vecna. Darth Vader is one that a lot of people put really high up. I think he'd be on my list, but I'm not like the highest point. Joker, obviously, specifically Heath Ledger's for me. I'd put Voldemort there. He's iconic, Do you think the Kree are responsible for the X gene like in the comics, and maybe we can see more mutants in the Marvels? I think that'd be an interesting twist. They might be involved in Secret Invasion, so maybe they'll talk about that in Secret Invasion. I don't know. Are the Kree going to be in Secret Invasion? Actually, I don't know. I don't know much about Secret Invasion. All I know is Samuel L. Jackson's going to be in it. and it's going to be about a lot of important shit. That's possible. That would make the most sense because they can't have mutants be this thing that's just always been there, you know, because then it'd be kind of weird. So that would make more sense if it was something that was created. Oh, Green Goblin too, yeah. Rick Grimes or Walter White? I can't pick. Rick Grimes I like more as a character. I'm just more interested in him, but Walter White's like brilliantly written up and down. Do you think it was right to kill Dewey off? Yes, but not in the way they did it. I didn't like the way they did it. I was fine with it, but you could have made him go down in more of a way that didn't kind of piss you off, because when you watched it, you kind of got pissed off. You're like, come on, you shouldn't have died that way, Dewey. Come on. Venom. I mean, Venom is cool in like the comics, but if I'm mainly thinking about like live action villains, and Venom in live action to me has not been a good villain at all yet. Well, the Venom in the movies that they're doing recently has more of an anti-hero anyways, so it's kind of hard to call him a villain. Even in a lot of the comics, Venom's more of an anti-hero, so I don't know. It's hard to call him a definitive villain, but he has been in some cases. Have you seen the Harley Quinn show? I've seen the first couple episodes, yeah. Just that, though. Do you think Rick will get to see Judith in the spin-off series? He better see Judith in the main series, like in the last couple episodes. Do you enjoy John Bernthal as the Punisher? Holy shit, yes. Oh my god. You guys are going to see my reaction to the next 2 episodes within the next week or so for Daredevil, so definitely check those out. I'll post episode 3 tomorrow. Episode 4 probably later in the week. You'll see what I say. I say a lot of good things about him because he's incredible in those next 2 episodes. So, especially that graveyard scene, especially. Do you plan to watch the series Yellow Jackets? Haven't heard of it. I'll send you the Sweet Tooth trailer after the stream. It's a great show from what I've seen so far. All right, thank you. I'll check it out. I'm definitely interested. New Ant-Man movie looking dark. Do we know much about it other than Kang's going to be the villain? Which Kang being the villain should be enough of a reason for it to be dark, yeah. So, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, yeah. Oh, they've released a little description of the Ant-Man movie, what it like starts with. I think they were saying like Scott Lang is like a celebrity or something, and he like doesn't see his family as much or some shit. I forget what it was, but it was interesting. Tony Stark will resurrect in Avengers 6 Secret Wars. I hope the fuck not. If they want to show Tony in like the multiverse, cool, but don't be giving Tony Stark anything in what's it called? Don't bring back like him. You know, I was hoping to see Tom Cruise as Tony Stark in Doctor Strange 2. That would have been amazing. Unfortunately not. Oh, you just saw the leaked trailer? Oh shit. I might not look at it though, because I like seeing them for the first time on the channel, you know. Like I heard there was a Mandalorian trailer leaked, and I saw the first couple seconds, and I was like, I don't want to see this now. I don't want to see this now. Because I want to watch it on the channel. Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. It's out there. If you guys want to see it, there's leaks. Vecna or Gus Fring. I don't know, they're so different of villains, you know. One's in a really mythical, fictional show. Well, they're both fictional, but you know what I mean, like very supernatural stuff going on. Whereas Gus is like a just normal dude who's really fucking, you know, powerful in his business, and he's a great villain. Gus Fring's one of the best villains of all time, but Vecna, I think Gus is better written, but Vecna's just cooler, I guess. Favorite Walking Dead season? Season 6. Okay. It's been 5 minutes since I said, so I'm going to end the stream here. I think I'll be streaming again, like I said, in August. I'd like to do one of these per month. I think that's just the best way to do it because I don't want to overdo them. You know, I want people to kind of see it as like a, you know, a monthly thing, just because it's a lot easier that way. I also have a lot of other things I got to do sometimes, so. And there's also, after a month, there's just more things to talk about. You know, I don't want to be talking about the same things every day. So when a month goes by, you got to talk about new things. It's a little more fun. So I'm excited. August, what's August gonna have that I could talk about in August? I don't know. It might just be a normal Q&A. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'd love to do some different, unique things for these streams later on, though. If you had a chance to watch any Marvel movie from Phase 5 or 6, what would it be? Well, I mean, only one? If I can only choose one, then it would have to be one that has nothing to do with the prior films, because, like, I wouldn't just want to watch Secret Wars right now, because I had to see the ones that lead up to it, you know? So I have to go with, like, I don't know, Blade, because I don't think that's going to connect that heavily to things that came before. I don't know. Alright, I'll see you all later. Have a great night.